So I'm just actually coming back from last week's shoot, as in tonight, but last week as you're watching it. I had a couple of ideas of where to shoot tomorrow morning, and I reckon there's a chance of a little mini inversion over there. That's me telling you that tonight, stroke last week, for tomorrow, stroke this week. Oh, well, morning again. Not sure we're going to get that inversion down below. Again, you never really can tell. I mean, there's a little bit of light mist, but it doesn't seem to be coming up the lock as much as I had hoped. Absolutely nobody around. But I haven't been up here in well over a year, and I actually doubted myself that I was on the right track, even though I knew I was, because there's only one way up here. But because they've done so much commercial logging since I was last here, all the woodland, especially on one side, has been just... And that was actually a cracking little place for some abstracty type images, or some woodland type images, some woodland chaos. A bit frustrating, but hey. Well, I think we're going to get a sunrise, but I'm not sure we're going to get that inversion. Oh, so there's a couple of little bits of mist forming down below me, but very, very patchy. I think looking over towards the Giant's Causeway, you don't often get it over there, so anyway. So basically the sun is due to rise over the sort of far hills, but hopefully my elevation means that we do get it sort of reasonably early. The problem being is obviously initially the valley down here will be in shadow, which is why I was hoping for even a bit of an inversion, because there's some lovely sort of peaks of hills and sort of craggy rock faces that can poke out of that mist, which kind of means that you don't have to have that light on it. Now, I'm hoping that the light will still be soft enough when it rises that we start to get some pockets of light. And there's a lovely river meandering out towards Loch Foyle. Oh, really thought we were going to get that inversion this morning, so. But I don't care. A beautiful, beautiful place to be. I love social distancing. So what I thought I would do is set up a panoramic, and again, as I said last week, I'm still waiting. Now apparently my Really Right Stuff plate has been fixed, and it's now hopefully going to be posted soon, before the end of the week. But anyway, so still not how accurate. I'm trying to level off as best as I can, but it's hit and miss sometimes without the leveling plate. Anyway, I thought I would grab a couple of shots here in Blue R. A couple of reasons. One, it's actually rather nice. It's rather sort of that lovely graduated tones in the sky. There's just a little bit of mist. In fact, that mist definitely seems to be building just a touch, and it's certainly behind me here, out to the east. It's certainly building there as well. So there's a nice bit of atmosphere going on there. But of course, the sun's going to be behind me. So one of the things that's going to happen pretty quickly is I'm going to start casting shadows, potentially on the foreground here, on the immediate foreground. Now that's not a huge deal breaker for where I am, and I can maneuver my position just a touch to get rid of that, but I just wanted to kind of grab this scene. I love the sort of obviously the foreground rocks, and they really do look wonderful whenever they're illuminated with some light. And then you have this, obviously, the outcrops of the cliffs below, and then you have this lovely band of pine, and then that river meandering, and of course those little pockets of mist. So it actually makes for, I think, a bit of a pleasing image. Not using any filters, and I'm doing a bracketed, even though the scene is reasonably, the sort of tops of the sky are maybe would be a little bit blown out. So bracketed panoramic, as usual, set all the settings up, switch to manual focus, and then do a bit of a swoopy swoop. But as I say, I may be able to use that's what I'm finding with the panoramic without the leveling plate and the ball head. Even if I can't use the full panoramic, there's normally a couple of frames in there that I can use that I guess is better than nothing. So it's 10 to 6. Sunrise is in about 9 minutes. I think the sun is going to be obscured somewhat on the horizon by that mist. Now it might burn that off pretty quickly, so you never know. Yeah, some lovely mist down there. I really should put my 1 to 400 in the bag as well more often, because I'm going to speculate that the hills over there are going to be quite nice with a little bit of mist going through, but the 18 to 135 just wouldn't do it justice. And of course picking out little pockets as well, but oh, it would have been so nice with an inversion. That sun has now risen above the mist, and it looks like there's a bit of an inversion coming into the loch. I just don't think it's going to reach us this far. A little bit more mist forming in the valley below, but so I'm still in the same position, and I'm going to hold fire in this position just to see whether any of that early morning light gives us any kind of pockets of light on the valley below. Still shooting a panoramic, maybe made some slight adjustments. What is beneficial is we have now got just a few little clouds in the sky now. About the top third of the frame is quite empty. You do have some graduation of colour, but I'm already thinking that I'll probably be cropping this down anyway to a 4x3 or a 5x7 or something like that, so I will be able to play a little bit with that empty space if I don't think it's actually bringing anything to the party. Well, it is Friday. What we really would love to see is just something. I think because we don't have a huge amount of clouds above, we're not getting any real sort of reflective light at the moment. That sun needs just to rise a little bit more and become just a little bit stronger. But we'll hold out. Also quite chilly, and I am just in a mood for forgetting things. Forgot my coffee. I brought it all the way here in my sealed mug, drank a couple of sips out of it, and it's now sitting way over there in my car. And I probably should have put my fleece jacket on, but maybe it'll warm up later. Stop complaining, Nigel. Look where you are. Oh, yeah. Lovely mist over in the Donegal Hills as well. So you know me, I'm not one for rushing about and running about, but that inversion that's pouring in now over there looks incredible. Oh, it would be so amazing if it kind of came up towards me, and I'm tempted to kind of grab everything and run that way and see whether I can get something, but patience. It's difficult though, it's difficult because it's right there. It's right in there. It's pouring into the valley. We are now starting to get a little bit of light. You can probably see that on my face. So let's see whether holding put is going to benefit me. I mean, it might push forward in, but if it does, it's moving very, very slowly. So that sun is now really broken through that haze, and so I am expecting some pockets of light. One of the problems with this panoramic that I have set up is we do have some nice cloudage going on the left hand side of it, but on the right hand side of it it's quite drab, quite empty, and there's not much colour, which I think will probably leave the sky unbalanced. Of course, the chances are the panoramic won't work that far around, and I'll have to chop that bit off anyway, but it would be nice if there was just a little bit more cloud up there, just to balance out that. But yeah, definitely now see That's sun. The inversion has moved probably another 100 meters towards me. A little bit more mist in the distance, but well, given the fact that that right hand side of the frame now I think is going to be something that I would have a problem with, I might stop with a panoramic and just start going with some standard images now, or maybe stitch together one or two, but not sweep round as far as I was, because again I'm just thinking once I get this into post, I'm not sure I'm going to like the top. Now if that sun does happen to illuminate anything over those hills, it might bring it back into play again, but I think I'll set myself up. I think I'll just set myself up now with a standard image, 10 meters closer. Stay here maybe till tomorrow morning, it might be here. So one of the lovely things about that light now coming up is we might not be getting any light at the moment in the valley below me, but we're getting light on the top of the hill, and there's a little sort of patch of unkempt grass that's just sort of catching the top of it's just catching the top of it's just catching the light. Hang on, I'm gonna grab another shot. Back in a minute. Are you guys straight? I don't think you are. So as I was saying before, I was rudely interrupted by making images. Light is just catching the top of that grass, and I really love the grass here. And from experience, grass like this that's catching the light prints really, really, really well on textured paper. So kind of looking forward to maybe seeing what that looks on there. But so we're getting some lovely light on the left hand side of the image, but the yin and the yang, not getting any light on the right hand side of the image. I think it's okay that there's not, well, it's acceptable that there's not any light at the moment in the valley, but if I swing around, then these rocks right in front of me and the grass right in front of me just aren't picking up any light, which again just gives that feeling that it's going to be unbalanced. In other news, the inversion is still creeping towards me.